Flora Sage here, and I'm back with another monthly planning tip. So, this one is about morning motivation. So a lot of people hate mornings. A lot of people hate Mondays. A lot of people have a really challenging time waking up early. And I hear ya, I've been there. I have been there. And I talk about this extensively in my book, The Year in Reverse. And one of the things that has helped me create kind of that momentum, that forward momentum in my day and in my morning is by prepping the night before, okay? So I have two kids, they're 18 and 21. There's a lot of stuff going on usually in the evening. In the morning though, it's very quiet. They usually don't stir out of bed until quite later unless one of them is working an early shift. And so I like to have that quiet time in the morning. However, there are many times when we stay up kind of late, just chit-chatting and talking and whatnot. And so it makes the mornings a little bit challenging to wake up with a you know, kind of that bright-eyed and bushy-tailed type energy, like, yay, let's get out of bed and start conquering the day. I'm like, no, I want to stay in bed. And so I've got 3 tips to you today, or for you today, to help you kind of build that momentum before the alarm even goes off. So the first tip that I have for you to create that morning motivation and that morning momentum is to create your plan tonight for tomorrow. This can take anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes. I usually just grab a piece of paper and just write out, okay, this is everything that I need to do for today, or, you know, like for tomorrow. So if it's like, okay, so today, prime example, I'm on vacation. I saw a couple clients this morning that are local. And so I put that on my list and, X person at this time and X person at this time. And then I needed to go to the post office and I wanted to go to the park with Tank and walk him. And then I wanted to film a couple videos for you all. And then I want to do just some other things, And so I just made a list of all the things that I knew I wanted to get done by the end of the day today. And so I made that list yesterday and I put it on a note card. It's actually over there. But I love note cards. And so it took me 5 minutes to write it, actually probably even less. And then another thing that I did was I made a list for the weekend. I always make a Saturday, Sunday combined list. One of the things that I'm going to do is I'm going to learn how to use my new edger and weed whacker. Another thing is I'm going to pick up some paint because I'm going to be painting my son's bedroom. And then I want to go get some more honey from this local apiary and, just kind of do maybe 4 or 5 other things. But I wanted to just get them out on paper so that they were out of my head. Okay, why am I suggesting that you do this? When you get it out of your head, then you don't have to think about it. You don't have to worry about it. I've had some people say, well, yeah, but what if I lose the list? Well, if you lose the list, it will come back to you. And if it doesn't come back to you, then obviously it wasn't that important to do, okay? So that's first tip. Write everything down that you plan to do the next day. During the work week, typically what I do is I have a whole list of things. By the end of the week, this is what I want to accomplish. But I don't have that list in front of me every single day. What I do is the night before, I make a list of all of my client calls that I have that day, any calls in the Institute, if there's any other member calls that I need to do for that next day, I make sure that I plan it. If I have a call with my mastermind group or my coach, I put it in there. Also, if there's any videos I want to create, if there's any blogs that I want to write, if there's any programs I want to create, I write all that stuff down and I have it on my list. And that is the first thing that when I sit down, I see this list and I'm like, rock on. So I know exactly what my day holds for me. But the cool part, doing this the night before sets the stage for success. It sets that momentum going because you don't have to sit there and think, okay, shit, what do I have to do today when you haven't even had your cup of coffee yet? So this just gets that out of the way. You do it when you're fresh, already awake, getting ready to go to bed. You just write down all the stuff that you know that you want to accomplish by the end of that next day. So tip number 2 is prep your morning items. Okay, so what do I mean by that? lay your clothes out the night before, prep your coffee stuff if you drink coffee, prep your water if you do water, if you do a shake or a smoothie or whatever, prep everything that's non-perishable. If you use a blender, if you use a shaker, like literally set all that stuff out, set your clothes out, set everything else out that you might need that morning or that you know that you're going to need. And then you don't have to worry about it. Like you can just roll out of bed. I shower at night, so I literally roll out of bed, get dressed, go to the bathroom, let Tank out, and hit the button on the coffee maker, make some coffee, and then slowly wake up. And so, that's how I start my day. But everything is laid out so I don't have to think. I can literally just do it. You know what I'm saying? So that's tip number 2. Lay all of your breakfast stuff, all of your morning items out in advance so that you don't have to worry about it. And that's going to help you build momentum because it's already done for you. Yay! All right. Tip number 3 to build momentum is, and this is all done the night before, do a 10-minute quick clean. There's nothing worse than waking up in the morning and realizing your house is a freaking sty and it's just a mess and you're like, oh shit. Then you realize, I'm gonna have to do this today, but I don't wanna do this because I'm tired because you haven't even had your coffee yet, right? So doing this at literally a 10-minute quick clean, what this is you set your timer for 10 minutes and you say, I'm just gonna tidy up the house. So you push in any benches or chairs, you tidy the couch, you fold any blankets. If something needs to be thrown in the trash, throw it away, put it in the recycling, wipe off the countertops, whatever it is that you need to do, but just tidy it up. Almost like somebody's calling you and they say, hey, I'm 10 minutes away, I'm coming over. And you're like, oh shit, thank you. And you hang up the phone, you hurry up and clean up the house a little bit. That's what I'm talking about, a 10-minute quick clean. You don't have to deep clean, you don't have to wash anything if you don't want to, but just tidy it up. That way, when you wake up the next morning and you roll out of bed and you get dressed and you hit the button on the coffee maker, or maybe you have one of those ones that has a timer so that at a specific time it actually just brews the coffee so you wake up to the smell of fabulous Java in your nose. And then you literally, you walk out to the main house and all of a sudden everything is already tidy. It's picked up. So you're not all of a sudden burdened with this, oh crap, I have to pick the house up, I've done this for years. My kids are 18 and they're 21. I've been doing this ever since I had kids, actually even, like before that. And the beautiful part about this is, especially when you have kids, there's usually toys everywhere. Toys, blankets, binkies, all kinds of stuff all over the place. And when you do a 10-minute quick clean, you literally can just scoop all the toys up, put it in the little bins, shove everything over so you can have a walking path or even just have some semblance of order. So when you come in, you have that kind of tidiness, that neatness, and there's not all that chaos that's bombarding your visual stimulation. You know what I mean? And so those are my 3 tips to help you build morning momentum, to help you with your morning motivation. Tip number 1, again, is to create tomorrow's plan tonight. You literally just write it down on a note card or a piece of paper or a sticky note. Just say, this is what I want to get done by the end of the day tomorrow. You write it down. Boom, you have it. Like literally, it takes 5 minutes or less. The next thing is to prep all your morning items. Literally, this also takes less than 5 minutes. I pull out my, let me see, I do my honey and my fiber powder and my collagen peptides that I put in my coffee. I prep my little coffee K-cup things because I use those like, use over and over and over again cups. And then I prep the coffee maker. I make sure that there's water in it and that it's shut off because I actually turn it on when I come upstairs. And then I make sure that if I'm gonna have an omelet or if I'm gonna have toast or if I'm gonna have something else, I take all that stuff out literally, so I just have to pull those perishable items out of the fridge or freezer and I don't even have to think about it. I can just do it and just kind of go through my morning kind of on autopilot, but not really, because if I have to even do those extra things, sometimes I'm like, ugh, I get tired, and because I'm not naturally a morning person, I'm more of an afternoon to evening person, and there's nothing wrong with that, and I get that and I understand that, and this is a way that I help make my mornings so much easier, so I don't have to think. I can just get up and do it. You know what I'm saying? And then the third thing is to do the 10-minute quick clean. And again, this is you set your timer or just look. I like to set my timer because I like the I'm only doing it for 10 minutes bit. So I set my timer for 10 minutes and I hurry up and I just tidy up everything. If I have time, I do wash things down. I'm usually pretty tidy about that anyway, but I'll straighten pillows and I'll put shoes away, and if I see something on the floor, I'll pick it up or wash it or whatever, sweep it up or whatever, but just 10 minutes and that's it. And you would be amazed at what this 20-minute routine will do at the end of the day. 5 minutes to write out your list, 5 minutes to prep your morning stuff and clothes and everything, and then 10 minutes for that quick clean. Another thing that I like to do too is to look at the weather and see what type of weather it's going to be the next day, because if it's going to be hot or muggy, or if it's going to be rainy and cold, if it's going to be snowing, whatever it is, I plan for it and I prep for it and I take those clothes out. And I do that and I just set everything out at the foot of my bed so that when I get up, I literally can just throw it on and boom, I'm good. So, and this is an amazing thing. This works so well when you have kids, because kids, a lot of the times if you say, all right, go get dressed, they're like, okay, they'll spend 30 minutes just looking at their closet and then they forget why they're in there and then they start playing. But if you have them participate in this and say, hey, what outfit do you want to wear tomorrow? What shirt? This one or this one? And give them options, because then what they do when they have options is they claim ownership to their outfit. Like, oh, you picked out your own outfit. Yay. And then the next morning, all right, let's put the outfit that you picked out on. And they're like, okay, yay. And they're so excited, you know, like, and so it's awesome. And it really helps with the flow of the day. And it really helps just with everything in general. It really helps, again, with that morning motivation and that morning momentum. So if you want more help planning your day, planning your week, planning your month, planning your year, I have a very special surprise and very special treat for you. I've created something called the Planning Posse, and every single month we have a Planning Posse party where we get together and we review our previous month, and then we plan our next month. And this is an amazing group of people that have come together. There's entrepreneurs and there's people that work for other people, and there's also stay-at-home moms that are part of this Planning Posse. And what we do, like I said, we get together every single month and we plan our day, we plan our week, we plan our month. And this takes so much headache out. 1 hour of preparation will save you hours and hours and hours of time during the actual month. So if you want more information about it, click the link below, check it out. It's really awesome. It's normally $97, but we're having a special price of only $47 a month to do this. And you also get 3 other calls with me where you can ask me any and all questions. So that's 4 hours, actually longer than that together, that we have throughout the month. Plus you have all the one sheets, you get bonus gifts from me. I just mailed everybody a book that's absolutely changed my life. You also get any other bonuses that I throw in there. Plus also there is a ton of bonus interviews from a lot of other successful people who share their planning tips and strategies so that they can help you, help yourself make actual epic progress in your life this year. All right. I love you very much, and I hope that you have enjoyed this month's planning tip. Mwah! Bye.